Hello, hello, is anyone there? I do apologise, we're having some technical difficulties with the live stream, as per usual. There's Bone John's in the room. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. The live stream that I schedule, I joined it, and it didn't work. Wake up. Good, I'm glad to hear you've woken up, JBM. Yeah, welcome guys to the room. How are we doing, everybody? I woke up and my video I uploaded last night was deleted. Oh, that's not good, is it? What YouTube Boogie Monster has been deleting your videos in the middle of the night. Sorry to hear that. How come you're both in the room but only says one person's in the room? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, in today's live stream, let me just get my notes because I am very well prepared. We are going to be talking about common scams in Thailand and how to travel cheaply in Thailand. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not in the title of this one because, yeah, it's not the one that I scheduled, which is so bloody annoying. I wonder if I can change. Can I edit the title of this one once I've started it? I don't think I can I? Edit video. Oh shit. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll leave it as is, unfortunately. Right, so let's get cracking then. So yeah, we're going to be talking about scams in Thailand. And to be honest with you guys, Thailand is not super scammy. It's not like India or other places around the world where there are a lot of scams. However, yeah, they do exist. So that's what we are going to be chatting about today. I'm also going to be sharing travel tips on how to travel cheaply within Thailand. So if anyone is thinking about visiting Thailand in the future, you'll be well prepared, well armed, yeah, for any of these scams and yeah, how to save your money. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my live stream. So my name is Greg, and you're watching G Like Travels. So in today's video, today's live stream, we are going to be talking about scams in Thailand and how to avoid them, how to spot them, what to do if you get sucked into one. And we're also going to be sharing tips and techniques, I suppose you could say, on how to travel cheaply, yeah, within Thailand. So let's kick off. Hiro, you myself. Hello, Sawadee Cab. So, first of all, the scam that I am going to talk about is taxis. So yeah, pretty much everyone who travels to Thailand has to use a taxi. You're probably going to use it when you arrive at the airport unless you take public transport. And yeah, there are a lot of kind of newbie mistakes that people make when they come here and deal with taxis. So my number one rule is, yeah, never ever take a taxi that is waiting outside a hotel, that is waiting outside a tourist area, whether that be a market or a shopping centre, something like that, some sort of tourist attraction. Never take those taxis because they will try and rip you off. Best case scenario, they'll just charge you a bit more. Worst case scenario, they won't take you where you want to go, and yeah, it just won't be a very good experience. So let's just quickly follow up on the chat. When I win the lottery, I'll travel to Thailand, Bones John. So he's coming soon then, I believe. JBM Travel says, I think it might be an error with the video because it tried to upload it twice at once. I'm just editing a video. Sorry. No need to be sorry, mate. We're glad you are here. So if there's anyone new in the chat, yeah, that's new to my channel, please feel free to introduce yourself. If not, I will carry on talking. So yeah, number one rule, do not take the taxis that are loitering outside hotels and tourist areas. Another thing I see a lot of tourists doing is taking tuk-tuks. So if you don't know what a tuk-tuk is, it's one of those little vehicles, open air vehicles, not as powerful as a car. And yeah, it's kind of the stereotypical Thai transport. But most locals don't take tuk-tuks. They're only for the tourists. These guys, they also like to loiter outside hotels, tourist places with the taxi mafia guys. And yeah, they will rip you off. They will either say the destination you want to go to is closed. They'll take you to their mate's gem shop. They'll take you to their mate's tailor shop. You know, they will try and take you somewhere to get your business. So yeah, my recommendation would be to not take those tuk-tuks basically. I mean, if you are coming here and you want to sample what driving in a tuk-tuk is like, it is quite fun, to be fair, as long as you're not stuck in traffic in the midday heat, then yeah, go for it. But be prepared to pay a little bit more than you would in a normal taxi. So what can you do if you're not going to take the tuk-tuks or the taxis that are waiting there? Well, number one thing you could do is walk, 25 meters, 50 meters down the road and hail down a normal taxi. That could be the number one. Number two, you can download one of the taxi hailing apps, whether that be Grab or Bolt. They don't have Uber in Thailand, and that's what I use all the time. They're really good because you can see how much the fare is going to be. You can track where you are going, so if you don't know where the location is exactly, you know if you're heading on the right track. Yeah, they're just much more of a safer and more convenient way to travel. So let's just catch up on the chat. Let's catch up on the chat. That's like in UK, never get a taxi waiting at airport. Wander down the road and get one. Yeah, kind of similar, I guess. Although I don't get many taxis in the UK, to be fair, because they're so bloody expensive. But we would use Uber if we were to get a taxi there. So, yeah, that has covered the taxi and tuk-tuk scam. And if you do find yourself, in one of these tuk-tuks that is going somewhere you don't want to go, just be firm but polite. It's not a good idea to lose your shit and get really angry with them. That's probably going to end quite badly for you. Similar to a taxi, I mean, you can just tell them to stop and get out. Other than that, there's not a lot you can do, unfortunately. So, the next scam thing we're going to talk about is renting a motorbike and renting jet skis. So you've probably all seen the Trouble in Paradise kind of series on YouTube. They did a bit about Thailand, I think maybe around 10 years ago, when some British guys, got in trouble with the jet ski mafia in Phuket Islands, and it all kicked off. It was all quite nasty. Jet skis are infamous for ripping off tourists. They can charge you like thousands and thousands of baht. So I think they can charge you like 800 to £1,000 for alleged damages to the jet ski. Yeah, do not fall for this. So what can you do to try and prevent, this kind of stuff happening? Well, number one, you can maybe not rent them, but you're on holiday and you probably do want to rent them. So I would suggest that you take a video of either the motorbike or the jet ski that you are going to rent. Pan around it, take a slow video so you can see any damage that might have already been there. So therefore, further down the line, if they claim, oh look, you made a big hole in my motorbike or my jet ski, you've scratched the side there, you'll have proof. No, I didn't. Look, it was already there. So that's number one. Sometimes they ask for your passport, and my suggestion would be never, ever, ever give your passport to anyone. Unless you're in the airport and it's immigration. Even at hotels, I usually show them a picture, and if you show them, the rental guys, a picture of your passport, that should be sufficient as well. And they may ask you to pay a deposit, which I think is, very reasonable. Normally it's around, I think, 1,000 baht for a motorbike. So that's around 25 quid. For jet ski, I'm not sure if they ask you to pay a deposit or not. I think it depends on the company. So, just use common sense as well. yeah, it's an easy thing to avoid getting scammed by the jet skis and the motorbike companies. But you'll be surprised, you'll hear lots and lots of tourists getting scammed, yeah, by these people. Not cool. Right, little vape break. Mon, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Where are you from? Would you like to introduce yourself? So my name is Greg and you're watching G-Like Travels. So the next scam that we are going to talk about is possibly one you haven't heard of, but it's one I've seen in Bangkok quite a lot of the time. And I think, as far as I'm aware, it only happens in Bangkok. So yeah, if you do know about this scam and you've seen it in other cities or places around Thailand, yeah, message me in the chat. But I think this scam only happens in Bangkok. So it is called the lucky Indian guy scam. So you'll be walking down the road in Bangkok, probably along Sukhumvit Road, which is one of the main tourist areas in parts of it, because it's a very, very long road. And this Indian dude will come up to you and he'll say, "Oh, you're a very, very lucky guy." And you'll be like, "What? Yeah, why?" And then he'll point to your forehead. "Oh, I can see, yeah, you have lucky lines or lucky face or some other bollocks like that." I've had guys approach me many times and I just kind of laugh at them, tempted to get my phone out actually and film them, see if they're keen on that. But yeah, I don't know exactly how their scam will go, but they'll either try and take you to a shop, they'll try and read your fortune or something, and they will try and extort you for money, basically. So yeah, don't waste your time with these guys. I actually saw an older foreign couple the other day get accosted by one of these guys, and I was so tempted to shout out at them, "Yeah, don't speak to that fucker, he's a scammer." But I didn't. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how their scam works. Because I've never like talked with them far enough to see how it would go, like where it would end. But yeah, they're definitely just going to talk shit and try and get some money from you. So avoid them. There's some other kind of little ones, little things that you should be aware of if you're traveling here. So in the tourist areas, they'll have these dudes just chilling by the side of the street with big kind of signs saying floating market or safari park or other attractions in Bangkok. These guys will also rip you off. They will have a taxi ready and waiting to take you, and they will charge you extortionate prices to go to this place. So yeah, don't go with these guys, would be my advice. Book yourself a Grab, book yourself a Bolt, or just hail one down from the street. If they are passing, if they are moving, they are far more likely to be legitimate. So yeah, don't go with those guys, would be my rule. So anyone else in the room like to introduce themselves? Feel free to send me a little message in the chat. If not, I shall move on nicely to the tips on how to travel cheaply. First, I shall have a little drink of water. I'm glad you ate the moon, John. How was it? Was it tasty? I've had a moon cake, but I can't say I've ever eaten the moon itself. Anyway, yeah, so traveling cheaply around Thailand. First, we'll talk about Bangkok, because, yeah, that's where I live, so I have a lot of experience here. Tips to travel cheaply. Thank you very much, John. So, yeah, taxis is kind of similar to above. Yeah, don't take the taxis that are loitering by the side of the street outside your hotel. Don't worry, JBM, all good, mate. Yeah, you crack on with your editing. Yeah, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, don't get the guys that are loitering outside your hotel, loitering outside MBK or any of the other popular tourist areas. They will rip you off, and they're annoying, yeah, and they're time wasters as well. Get a Grab or a Bolt, or you could travel by public transport. There's lots of options for cheap and efficient public transport in Bangkok. Number one is the SkyTrain, otherwise known as the BTS. Number two is the Underground, otherwise known as the MRT. And you can buy tickets very cheaply. It's pretty easy to navigate. They've got lots of different lines that go all over the city. So yeah, use those. Excuse me whilst I suppress the belch. So JBM says, I have 47 clips in one video. Damn, that's a lot of clips. How long is the video, JBM? 4 hours long? So yeah, you could also travel by local bus within Bangkok. They are super duper cheap. I think they cost around 5 to 10 baht per journey. So that's around, I don't know, like 10 to 20p, something like that. However, they're quite confusing to know where they go. Most of the signs and stuff are in Thai. But yeah, if you're feeling brave, then yeah, you could try a local bus. I used to use them. I haven't used them since we've been here, I don't think, because there's been no need to. You can also try what is known as a songtail. You're thinking, what is a songtail, Greg? It's basically a kind of open air truck with a roof, and you can fit about 10 people sitting on either side of the back, kind of facing side on to the driver. You can jump onto these, and they will be super cheap. I think around maybe 5 baht for every journey. However, you will need to know whereabouts they are going. So yeah, that would be my recommendations for Bangkok. Yeah, either Grab or Bolt if you want to travel by taxi. The public transport, the BTS, which is the SkyTrain, the MRT, which is the underground, or the Songtails if you want to have a kind of stereotypical Thai experience. Because a lot of the people travel here, a lot of the local people travel by Songtail every day. Let's quickly check the chat. Bangkok, I thought that was in Japan. I'm not sure what you're referring to, SkyTrain maybe, but yet they have that in Bangkok. I remember one train in Thailand translates to English, but it was very hard to understand. Yeah, train in Thai is Rot Phai, I think. Rot Phai Phar is SkyTrain, because Phar means sky. That's about all I can remember. Anyway, guys, welcome if you are new to the live stream. My name is Greg, and my channel is G Like Travels. Please do go and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. 30 in the please like. Yes, everyone smash that like button, please. Nong Nati, Sawadee Kap, how are you? So, that was traveling within Bangkok. What if you want to travel outside of Bangkok? Because that's what most tourists want to do. Time for a vape break. One moment, please. So, what if you want to travel somewhere else within Thailand? You got many options. Most expensive one is to hire a taxi, private car, drive you there. That's the most expensive. Don't do that unless you're a millionaire like Bones John. Good thumbs up, Nong Nati. Thank you very much. Number 2 is you can take a coach or a train, and they have a great kind of infrastructure of coaches that travel around Thailand. Also, the trains are improving. They used to be pretty crap, but they're definitely getting better. And if you're traveling quite far, like you're traveling to the north to Chiang Mai, for example, you're traveling to the south to Phuket or one of the islands in the south, I'd recommend getting one of the overnight buses or overnight trains. A, because you will save money on hotel accommodation, and B, it's going to be a bit cheaper as well than traveling during the day. So yeah, that would be my recommendation there. Plus, if you want to travel second or third class train, it's super duper cheap. It's going to be dirt cheap. So yeah, if you can hack it, if you can take the non-AC carriage or whatever, then do that. So yeah, that would be my recommendation if you're traveling around Thailand. I'm from Thailand. Sawadee Kap. Where are you from in Thailand? Mon Mon and Nong Nati. Ban Unai Kap. What else? Aeroplanes? Yeah, you can also fly from Bangkok to many of the other towns and cities around Thailand. They can be, depending where you go, cheap or expensive. If, for example, you're traveling to Koh Samui, I think there's only one airline, Bangkok Airlines, they're quite expensive. If you're traveling to the other cities, try the budget airlines like Air Asia, Nok Air, they'll be much cheaper. So yeah, do the usual things for flights, compare prices. I always use Skyscanner because you can see all the companies, like on the exact date you want to go and wherever you want to go. Hello, Mon Mon, how are you? Sabaydi Minor Cap? What else? Yes, SIM cards. So another thing that foreigners don't get ripped off, but they pay a little bit too much is getting a SIM card from the airport. They're going to be way more expensive if you get one from the airport. So what I recommend, one moment please, is to get an eSIM. So if you get an eSIM, you can see how much you're going to pay. You can see how much data you're going to get. Oh, I am from England, Mon. Yeah, my recommendation will be to get an eSIM, and I will give you a link to my eSIM that I use, and you will get $5 off your first eSIM that you use. So this is with a Nomad eSIM. So if you download the Nomad link and you put this, Greg, Greg EVNGPP, you get $5 off your first eSIM card. So yeah, check out Nomad eSIM. Yeah, download that app. They're just so much easier than getting a normal SIM. You don't need to fiddle around with your phone, you know, when you're jet lagged, taking the SIM card out, putting a new one in that you might lose. Yeah, it's just easier to get an eSIM. I use them all the time when I'm traveling around. You could also go to 7-Eleven to get a SIM card, which will be much cheaper than getting one at the airport. But you know, it's the same faff. You've got to bring your passport with you. You've got to get them to set it up. Yeah, it's just a bit of a faff. So I would strongly recommend eSIMs. Other things you can do to save a bit of cash is eating locally, eat the street food. It might not look very good, but usually it is pretty damn good. Some of the best food I've had in Thailand is from street food. If you're going to eat out every night at the Western restaurants, you know, the more classy restaurants, you're going to spend the same amount of money as you would if you were going out in the USA, UK, Australia, whatever. And Mon said, where are you from? I am from England. And where are you from in Thailand? So anyone else want to introduce themselves in the chat? Anyone have any questions about the scams in Thailand? Or anyone have any questions about how to travel cheaply in Thailand? I don't know why I'm speaking with a crap American accent. I just thought it would be fun. So if there's no questions at this present time, we will move on to hotels. So if you've checked out my YouTube channel, you will see that I have travelled and stayed in a lot of hotels. A bit like JBM Travels. How can I scam you? You cannot, John. I'm the master scammer myself. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, myself and JBM Travels, yeah, we have stayed at a lot of different hotels. JBM, particularly in the UK, he is the one of the most experienced UK travellers there is on YouTube. And yeah, what I do, my go-to app for hotels is Agoda, because I have I think VIP status there because I've got so many points, so I always get good deals on Agoda. But if you're just starting out, I would suggest checking the different hotel booking sites. JBM can probably add some more information on this. Like check out Agoda, check out Booking.com, check out TripAdvisor, and compare the prices for where you want to go, and then you will see the best deals. It does vary from country to country, but generally in Thailand I just use Agoda, or I might also look at Airbnb, because in some places Airbnb can give you better deals, particularly if you're staying for maybe a week or 2 weeks, something like that. Let me just spit out my chewing gum. Yeah, also, if you travel in the low season in Thailand, not only flights, but hotels will be much cheaper. So the low season is roughly from kind of May through to about now, October, end of October, early November. And then the prices start going up towards Christmas and January when it's the cool season. So yeah, if you travel in the low season, the prices will be cheaper. The hotels will shoot up at Christmas, as will the flights. But I think that happens pretty much everywhere around the world. So, do we have any other people that would like to introduce themselves in the live chat? Or do we have any questions, aside from how can you scam me, Bones John, about scams in Thailand or how to travel cheaply? Feel free to drop me a message in the chat. JBM, if you are there, how do you book your hotels? What do you find is the best strategy? I think JBM is very busy editing his 47 clips. So, yeah, let's talk about the weather, shall we? So basically, the weather has been really weird here in Bangkok in the last week or so. It should be getting into the cool season, and it's been super duper humid and hot, and it's been raining a lot as well, which is quite annoying. Every day it's been raining really heavily at times. There was flooding in Bangkok last night. I think there was flooding. Bye bye, Mon Mon. Thank you for coming. Have a good evening. Please, yeah, tell your friends and family to join the live stream and subscribe to my channel. So yeah, as I was saying, the weather's been really weird recently. It should be getting into the cool season, and it's not. Anyway, welcome guys. If you are new to the live stream, my name is Greg. You're watching G Like Travels. So we're going to recap what we were talking about: scams in Thailand, how to avoid them, how to spot them, what to do if you get involved in one. So the number one thing that you will probably come across when you're traveling in Thailand is the taxi and the tuk-tuk scam. So do not take the taxi guys that loiter, that wait outside your hotel all day. Do not take the guys that wait outside tourist sites like MBK or the temples or whatever. Any tourist site where there's a taxi or a tuk-tuk waiting, do not take them. So what should you do? You should either walk maybe 50 meters down the road and flag a taxi that is passing. Same applies to tuk-tuks, but they're a little bit shady, a little bit scammier than taxis, generally speaking, because they do not have a meter, whereas taxis should have a meter. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you get in a taxi and they don't put their meter on, tell them, please could you put the meter on? Or meter dai mai kap in Thai, and they should do. If they don't, just tell them to stop and get out would be my suggestion. So also you could download one of the taxi hailing apps. They're really good, they're really cheap. Like for Thailand it's Grab or Bolt. They do not have Uber here. Yeah, and just avoid these guys. Yeah, do not get them, do not give them your hard-earned cash would be my suggestion. If you do happen to end up in one of these taxis, yeah, you know, try and get out as quickly as you can. Don't throw up a big stink and a fuss. Don't get angry. Don't get aggressive, because that's not going to go down for you very well here. They like to fight in packs and they will hunt you down like rabid dogs. Oh, we had loads of people in the room then and they've all gone. There's some people coming back. Also, we were talking about the motorbike and jet ski scams. So yeah, the jet ski scams I think are the most, jet ski and motorbike rental scams. So I think the jet ski scams are the most common, most prevalent. Probably everyone's heard about them, unless you've been living under a rock. So what they will do is you'll rent this jet ski on a beautiful beach somewhere in Thailand. You'll come back, you'll think you're only going to pay what, maybe 800 baht, 1000 baht, something like that, and they will say, oh, look at these scratches, you scratched my jet ski, you now need to pay me 800 quid or 1,000 pounds for repairs. And you'll be like, oh shit. And then if you refuse to pay, you don't want to pay, they will get very angry with you. All their mates will come round, they will surround you, they'll be very aggressive, but they will force you to pay. In fact, sometimes these scams have the cops in on them as well. The local police are in on the scams. So there's no one you can go to at that time. If you go to the police, they'll just say, yeah, sorry, you've got to pay. So what can you do to protect yourself? What you should do is, before you rent the jet ski, take a video of it, you know, try and get as much of it, go around the whole jet ski, try and get underneath it as much as possible as you can, so you have, you know, a bit of insurance against getting scammed. Because yeah, when you're in that situation, it's not very nice. I can tell you from experience, it's not very pleasant at all. And they will assault you if you do not pay. That's the bottom line. They will attack you, and they probably won't get arrested or in any trouble for attacking you, because the police are very likely to be in on the scam as well. So anyone in the room would like to introduce themselves? Any questions about the scams in Thailand? Or about traveling in Thailand? If anyone's got any questions whatsoever, please feel free to send me a message. Same goes for motorbike rental, although I think, yes, scams for motorbike rental are a little less prevalent in Thailand in my experience. Excuse me. Yeah, you know, before you rent the motorbike, make sure you take a video of the whole motorbike again, just to give yourself some insurance that when you drop off the motorbike, they'll give you they will give you your deposit back, not their deposit back. Sorry, I just put my false teeth back in. And yeah, you won't have to pay any damages that you didn't do. Of course, if you did damage it, if you did have a little crash, you'll have to pay. But that's fair enough, isn't it? And then the last scam I wanted to talk about was the Indian lucky guy scam. So I'm gonna quickly Google and see what Mr. Google says about the Indian let's see, lucky guy scam Bangkok, because I think this scam only happens in Bangkok. So they say you're a lucky man, you know why. Yeah, that's how they introduce it. You're a lucky man. Yeah, look at you. You have good luck here on your forehead. You have a big nose. You're lucky. Let's see what they say. Their game is to separate you from your money. Yeah, we all know that. They will say something about you having good fortune because of your birth date or aura or something mystical. Then get you to buy cheap plastic bracelet or locket, or solicit donations to boost or ensure your good fortune happens. Well, you know what? If you come across one of those guys, you're not very lucky, are you? Full stop. You are not lucky if you come across one of those annoying little Indian scammers. What else? Oh, apparently it happens in Pattaya as well as Bangkok. So someone says here, I remember walking around in Pattaya near the beach when some random Indian guy commented on my nice hair, but slightly thinning hair on the back of my head. I can't relate to that. I was confused, but didn't give him any real attention. Couldn't place what his angel, I think they mean angle, was. A day later, I saw another Indian guy trying to stop people when passing by with the same one-liner. He was selling hair products on a makeshift stand. Okay, I mean, is that a scam? Not really. If he's trying to sell hair products to follically challenged males like myself, no one else in the room, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, so basically, if you come across these guys, just ignore them. They won't hassle you, they won't follow you, or you can laugh at them, you can point at them, you can get your phone out and start videoing them. They don't like that. Scammers generally don't like it when you start videoing them. So, have we got anyone else in the room that would like to introduce themselves, like to ask any questions about scams in Thailand? Oh, apparently they happen in Patong as well, which is Phuket, if you didn't know. So I had one in Patong say, I know your father's name. I said to him, I know your wife's name, and winked. He was not too impressed. Yeah, so basically I think it's like a fortune-telling scam. I think that's how it goes down. Okay, let's see. We've got one here, very long post here. I was lucky enough to have an encounter with one last year on a random soi near Soi 13, that's in Bangkok, Sukhumvit Road, in the afternoon. I never heard anyone tell me I have a lucky face, so I decided to stop and see what he wanted. I did know it was going to be a scam, but curiosity got the better of me. He started by telling me his name was Mr. Yogi and pulling out a pen and piece of paper and asking me random shit like what's my favourite number, favourite colour of the rainbow, except for the colour red. Many questions later, he had all the answers I had in my head written down already, which I'll admit had me amazed. So he had a little magic trick. But they're kind of scams anyway, aren't they, magic? Then he pulled out an old Polaroid of Indian orphans. Ah, here we go, the old sob story. And said that he looks after these kids, do you my fucking arse, by sending money to them. He then wrote down 1,000, 3,000 and 5,000 on a piece of paper and said, if you are poor, circle 1,000, middle, circle 3,000, or rich, circle 5,000. But I think you are middle. Realising this was the end game, I laughed and said, I can't do that, sorry mate. Then he got angry and said, why not? I said, I can't agree to anything with you, and he got angrier. I tried to diffuse it by saying I don't carry cash on me, I only use card. And he pointed at an ATM and started demanding I go. I said, no chance, but I'll meet you here tonight and give you money for the orphans. He then made me take his phone number and said to call him when I was coming to meet him, and if any Indians tell him I have a lucky face, say thank you and walk away, as he has many people in Sukhumvit working for him. So they're like a gang of scammers that all work together. That night I flew home and texted him while I was in the airport, asking to meet him at a hotel about 20 minutes walk away to give him 5,000 baht for the orphans. 30 minutes later, my phone was getting calls non-stop of 3 different numbers. I'd answer and leave it till he hung up. Eventually I got a text message saying, and quote, fuck of you. It's quite funny. According to the Thais I spoke to back home, he'll recognise me if he ever sees me again, so potentially a bad move, but fuck him. I found it funny and got a free fortune telling while I was at it. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about those guys. Yeah, they don't scam me. They don't scam me. They don't scare me. It's the jet ski scammers. They're the ones that can be very aggressive and very confrontational, and they work in a big pack as well. Those Indian dudes, nah, fuck them. I couldn't give a shit. Mr. Yogi Bear. I don't know, Bones John. It could be Yogi Bear. Who knows? So if there's anyone new in the room, my name is Greg and you're watching G Like Travels. Please make sure you smash the like button on this live stream to push up that algorithm, and subscribe to my channel. So I think we've covered the Indian lucky guy scam in quite some depth now. We know their end game. Well, their end game is, you know, say you're lucky, tell you their fortune, tell you your fortune, sorry, and then, yeah, ask you for a donation. That's how it all goes. So yeah, I think that's about it for tonight, guys. I'm going to hang around for a few minutes, see if we get a late surge of people in the rooms, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's been rather quiet, and it's rather annoying that I couldn't open the live stream that I'd scheduled, that I'd written the description for. So Bones John said, so is that an Indian scam in Bangkok? Yes. The one that I was reading was an Indian scammer in Bangkok, and the ones that I've come across were all Indian scammers in Bangkok. In fact, I was waiting to collect Oscar from school. I was waiting just outside this shopping centre. It's actually the 2nd floor. And yeah, I walked past this Indian dude sitting there, and he was like, you're a very, very lucky guy. I was like, fuck off. This is my home turf, dude. I don't want you scammers here. You're normally in the tourist areas, so I did not expect him to be there, to be fair. But apparently it happens in Pattaya, in Phuket. It probably happens in all the major tourist areas, to be fair. Some can be. Yes, I would tend to agree. Not all, but yeah, some definitely can be. So, do we have anyone else who would like to introduce themselves, say hello in the chat, or ask me any questions about scams in Thailand, or about travelling, how to travel cheaply in Thailand? We covered the main points earlier, which were, you know, make sure you take taxis that are either from Grab or Bolt, or flag one down that's moving in the street, as opposed to taking the taxis that are loitering outside your hotel or a tourist area. Never take those guys. Try the local public transport. If you're in Bangkok, try taking the SkyTrain, the underground known as the MRT. You could even try local buses if you're feeling brave. They are way, way cheaper than taxis. However, you may get stuck in traffic compared to the SkyTrain and underground. Get an eSIM. So I put a link to my eSIM. Make sure you sign up for Nomad SIM. You'll get $5 off your first purchase of eSIM if you sign up with my code there. I'll just put it back in the chat. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Greg EVNGPP. So I'm not going to remove. Can I copy and paste it? No, I can't. Never mind, that's fine. Are there any cheap strip clubs in Bangkok? I wouldn't know what you're talking about, John. Shh. Yeah, they're cheaper than England, so I've heard. Shh, don't tell anyone. What else? Yeah, you know, aeroplanes, hotels. do the usual. Well, for me, it seems obvious. You know, compare prices on different platforms. Skyscanner is my go-to for comparing prices for airplanes, air tickets, and Agoda is my go-to for when I book a hotel. But you can check, you know, the other booking sites like Booking.com, check TripAdvisor, and just compare which one has the best deal. Right, so yeah, I think that is about it, guys. So, do we have any latecomers, any late bloomers who would like to introduce themselves in the chat? Is there anyone who has any questions, you know, about traveling in Thailand, about scams in Thailand, or about how to travel cheaply here or in the area? Because if not, I am going to sign out. Well, before I do that, I'm just going to turn off the AC, so I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and I hope, was the audio any better, John? I am live streaming this from my new phone, my new iPhone. How was the audio? Was it any better, or was it exactly the same as before? I would be interested to get your feedback. What about the video? Was the video any clearer, any crispier, or is it exactly the same as before? Yeah, please let me know your feedback, guys. Don't know if JBM is still in the room. Audio better now. Good to hear. Yeah, my previous speaker on my iPhone was fucked. I couldn't hear anyone if I held the phone like this to my face. I had to have my earbuds in all the time. Video looks good. Excellent stuff. Well, thank you everybody who's come to drop by. Make sure you check out all my videos on my channel, please. Smash that like button, comment on the videos, subscribe and share it with friends and family across the world. Peace and love. Mwah.